Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm going to do a channel news update. This is update number 47. Wanted to tell you a little bit about some of the projects I have been working on and some upcoming projects, as well as some milestones that the channel is about to make, and so I wanted to talk about that as well. If you haven't been following the channel for like the last week, you'll see that I'm putting out a lot of videos almost daily for Pillars of Eternity. Pillars of Eternity is a computer RPG that's available on Steam right now. It's actually on sale for Steam. You can get Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 as a packaged bundle, or you could buy them independently of each other, and they're both on sale. So I know Pillars of Eternity 2 is on a 60% sale. I purchased it, and that's part of the reason why I'm putting out a daily video for Pillars of Eternity 1 right now, because I want to get the game, finished off before I start Pillars of Eternity 2. So within, the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a nice steady flow of videos of me going through with that particular game. And they'll be grouped up into one grouping on the channel, so that you can go specifically to there and just run through and watch them all in their order, if you wish. Continuing on, so an ongoing project that I've been doing, I've been running a D&D BECME campaign for the last almost 10 weeks now, I guess. So back in early April, I started this campaign, and the players, we have a number of recurring characters, and number of returning players from the very beginning until now. And so it's a pretty long-lasting online campaign, so which are oftentimes hard to keep going, and so I'm really appreciative of the players who have been coming ever since the first or second session of the game. We're up to our roughly 10th or 11th session this upcoming Friday. So our young adventurers are approaching level 3, and after the last encounter they probably have all made level 3, including the elf. And if the elf hits level 3, that means that everyone else is really close to level 4, if not at level 4 as well. So we're almost done with the basic book, and we're going to start moving into the expert book for the entire party. So I'm really looking forward to them graduating to that next level of gameplay. So you will see a recap of that following next week. Right now, they're kind of in between. They're investigating, or have infiltrated a lizard man lair, and they haven't quite learned everything they need to learn about in there. So that'll come up in our next session on Friday, and then by Saturday or Sunday. I expect that we will get that. I'll get that video up doing that recap. Moving on, so the channel is at 738 subs, so another 12 subs, and I'll hit the 750 mark, and I'll have that benchmark. The channel has also hit the milestone of 65,000 views. I'm really appreciative of everybody that has been coming to the channel. I hope to continue to give you videos that you want to see, and I ask you that you keep on giving those suggestions for games to look at and such. And I demonstrate a lot of reciprocity. If someone comes to my channel, I will follow your channel. That's kind of how I discovered Pillars of Eternity. I've had that game on my Steam library since 2016 at least. That was the last time I had played it. and because the Lost Library, whose channel now I have featured on this channel, because he had reminded me, of that game. I remember I was like, hey, I have this game in my library too. And then I went to it. I'm really enjoying playing the game. I don't know why I had stopped back then. It just, too many games at, too short of a time, I guess. So I'm really enjoying going back into those. So once again, that's how my channel, that's how I personally like to respond to to the subscribers, or respond to the people that are leaving comments on the on the channel. Is I like to take a look at what you're doing, and show that that shared love for role playing games, whether they're on a computer or tabletop. I had announced a couple videos ago. I had backed a Kickstarter put out by Bloat Games for their fantasy. It was Survive This, their fantasy RPG, and I had purchased it with the with the Kickstarter pledge of like $45, and that gave me 10 vouchers for each the PDFs, and for $10 vouchers for the physical copy. All right, and obviously I only need one voucher for both, so I'd have the PDF and the physical copy, which will leave me with 9 copies of or vouchers, $10 vouchers for the physical copy, and 9 PDF vouchers. Those I am going to give away at the subscriber level of 800. I'm going to give away 3 of each. At 900, 3 of each. And finally at 1,000, 3 of each. So I'm hoping to get to that point before the end of the summertime. I'd love to get there by August, and hand out all of those, or at least have all of the winners known and ready to send those things out as soon as I get the vouchers from the Kickstarter, when the Kickstarter is completed. So that's another thing I have coming along the pike. Finally, I had ended my Mifrog campaign, which was kind of a long running campaign, lasted about 3 or 4 months or so. Quite a number of sessions involved with it, and I'm taking a little break from that GMing aspect, because as a GM, and I know a lot of you probably realize the same thing. You get burnt out when all you're doing is GMing, and so I want to kind of tone that down a little bit, and get some playtime in, as a player, But I'm still looking to run at least my D&D campaign for certain, and I'm looking to tone it down. And one way that a game master can tone down your the demands on your time is to make is to write adventures for a single player. All right, and then fill in the rest of the ranks for that single player with a number of NPCs that will be kind of like teammates, and ongoing. So I've always found that's the way I used to play Modiphius's Conan, the 2D20 system, was just writing everything for just one character, and just running it through with one player. And it's a much easier way to at least I found it's a much easier way to come up with stories, and to collaborate with your, you only have one person to collaborate with as far as, creating, and then, running adventures is a lot smoother that way. It's a totally different experience. It's not, I want to say it's not less social than having a group of players, because your interaction, you both become connected to that character, as both the GM and the player. It's just a different experience. So I don't want to say that it's it's more or less of a social interaction. I think it's just different. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to do that same thing with the Blackest Space. This is Josh Palmer's The Blackest Space. It's a it's kind of it's called an interstellar survival sci-fi role-playing game. So it's I just recently started watching the first season of The Expanse, and I immediately remembered, you know what, I'd like to do something along that lines of having a single player play just one character on a ship, and then develop various adventures and stories for that player to go through. And this is the game system I'm going to use to do that. So this is an upcoming project, and I'm looking forward to getting it started. I'm going to be looking for one single player who is willing to play maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but most likely 2 times a week. And on this project, shorter things, almost episodic kind of adventures. So under 2 hours at a time, but probably twice a week commitment for that. So that's another thing I'm looking to do. Other than that, I mean, everything else is going well. I have a lot of different things going on, at one time, but the time now, it's the summertime, so schools are over with, and I have the next 2 months of of not having to work from home, and so the next 2 months of time to do some writing and do quite a bit of playing, I'm hoping. So once again, thanks for joining. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you like this video or any of the videos on the channel, please hit the thumbs up on it. Make sure that you get your alerts. Share videos, leave comments, and I have the YouTube channel, as you know. I have a Facebook community called On-Screen Gaming, OSG. So you can find me there. I just recently started a parlor.com, so that's at Bloodworth. And on Twitter, you can find me at Bloodwolf. Eventually, I'm going to move away from Twitter and more onto Parler. And I've been trying to get gamers to move to Parler, where we could talk about games and hopefully just games there. So I know a lot of people are saying that Parler is just political, but political from the other side of the spectrum that you normally see on Twitter. But that's only if we make it so. I'm kind of non-political when it comes to gaming, and so that seems to be the place to be. So once again, enjoy, stay safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. Thanks for stopping in.